front yard. Ay, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God. Big numbers, big numbers. 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up, round it up, count it up. Ayy, hundreds and fifties and 20s, no fives and no singles, don't count on them. Ayy, she want it like me cause her like she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like I'm keeping score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they souls the chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Ripper stuff the edge like I don't know no bill. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one.
Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League takes us to the Queen City of Cincinnati and Paul Brown Stadium right on the banks of the Ohio River. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any. Both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These and the Cincinnati Bengals. Garcia on first down. And incomplete to open things up.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Garcia now throwing again on 2nd and 10. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking to hit his running back, Le'Veon Bell, that time. And it's 3rd down.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Operating from the gun. Garcia going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line.
That's waiting. In the face. Shoot.
The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line. Continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Switch. Bang, 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 bang. Rush it.
From the gun, a give to Mixon. And he does not get to the first down marker as they stop him at the 19. 9 yards on the carry there, but it'll be fourth down now. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now Garcia to throw on third down. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up fourth down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Going deep downfield for Ross. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. Now keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in the air, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can, and it doesn't matter whether it's one person or if you spread them across your entire defense. Everybody wants a piece of that pie.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. Now after the run by Geis, here's 1st and 10.
Let's go, D. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Here's Garcia. From the gun, he'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. 2nd and long. He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get him much, maybe a yard, and that's all. There on the tackle, Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 22 yards there, a 1st down. That's his longest run of the 1st quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
A little bit of daylight on that 1st down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry, 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now Joe Mixon. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Haven't been a defense coordinator yet that thinks 2nd and 2 is a fun situation to try and defend. Playbook is wide open for an offense, partner.
Nice job. Hold him to 1 after that 8-yard pickup on 1st down. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
Check 52.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come. Drill right, 22. We got double up.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
I'm going back to you. Hey, Delta. Man out.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. 25 yards that time.
Well, there's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. A first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. This is first and goal from about the 8. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon with touchdown number 12 on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Extra point from McManus is good, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. From the gun, Garcia. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now Garcia. Off play action. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Garcia on 3rd and 2. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. This is caught inside the 15. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. He pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Again, Geis. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Darius Geis, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Bullet good on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. The Bengals drive about to get going. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
I got you. I got you.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 22 yards there, a first down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, tighten down.
Mixon. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. And we'll remind you, coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now Mixon. But he's taken down inside the 30. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Set. 180. No gain on this defense. Middle. 6 guys. Check 6 guys.
Mixon with a first down carry. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On 2nd down, Mixon hit, and all the ball is out, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Garcia now, operating from the gun. Gets this one to Le'Veon Bell. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Garcia. Buying time to his left. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
They'll run with Mixon, and he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? Mixon trying to punch it in, and he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, as the first half is winding down. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
He's got this complete to Ryan Switzer. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now Garcia to throw. Throwing on first down. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Here's Garcia. A final shot before break. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Stafford. He finds his running back, Mixon. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a third down.
Blue 60. 55. You don't want none of that. Pick up the ball. Hey, 22.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And Eifert has it. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 47-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Single. Ready, move. Hey, watch 85. Watch 85.
Now Stafford. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Coverage by Keanu Neal.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
32.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. Flush to his right. That's complete to Meredith. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 30. And I guess, Charles, sometimes when you have a receiver well over 6 foot, you do that. Just put it up there, let him grab it, and he did.
And it certainly appears like a 50-50 ball, right? We always talk about that when both sides have a chance to get it, the receiver or the guy covering him. But I think the odds actually are in favor of the offense. They can see the ball coming oftentimes before the defender can get his head around. So I think that really goes to like 70-30, and they should be able to go up and get it most of the time.
And he got it there. They'll run on 1st down. Nixon. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Check, crunch, big 20.
From the red zone now, Stafford escaping the pressure right to the end zone, but it's incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
It's 3rd and 10.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. Now McManus will line up for the field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. The kick by McManus is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field. But they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Xavier Woods with a pick. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offense coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field, so play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more, but a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
Second and 9 at the 18-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship.
They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 14 on the year. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. McManus's point after is good, and the lead is now 24. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. From the gun, Garcia. He's going to wind up and air it out. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Trying to lay one up deep. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
Well, we're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Eluding the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Give them a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down. The Bengals bring out their punter now. Back now in Cincinnati. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
Let's go.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
7 yards there and a first down. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to or less than that. And wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. Now Garcia looking to throw on second down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Carl Lawson, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. Here's Johnny Hacker now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Again, it's Mixon. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape. So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Looking to throw. Garcia. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff now to Geis. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 46. Back to throw. Garcia. Open man is Switzer, complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Cut his left. Cut his left.
Garcia on 1st and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Looking to throw. Garcia. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Jones. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a 1st down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. On 2nd down now, it's Jones. And an alley to run. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed.